Okay, so today's date, 9/26/19. Here's our objective. What we want to do today is we are going to be solving polynomial equations. Okay, polynomial equations. So for two things, polynomials are those with x squareds, x cubes, x to the fourth, right? Polynomials are anything with like regular whole number exponents, okay? And equations means it's got equals, okay? We know that the degree tells us how many zeros, okay? So right off the bat, an example. 1, we know there's got to be 3 answers. It has to be 3 answers, right? Has to be. No matter what, even if the answer occurs twice, like we saw earlier, the 0, remember how the 0 happened twice? That's still going to be 2 answers, okay? So right off the bat, I'm going to factor, right? Factor. So I'm going to take out a 2x, right? You guys see that? They all have a 2x in common. So always common factor first. Always common factor first. Always common factor first, if you can. So I can, if I take out a 2x, I'll have an x squared minus a 6x plus 9. Okay? Always common factor first, okay? Now, if you can factor again, let's factor again. And I can. I know the multiples 9, 3 and 3 make a 6, right? But let's go -3, so I can make a -6. 2x, parentheses, x, and then we'll go -3. Alex, you're getting this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
With the quadratic formula, when it's like this, so you know it's like ax squared plus
Yeah.
x plus c. Can the first variable be like ax to the fifth? Or
No, quadratic formula only works for x squareds. Only.
It has to work for that.
Yeah,
first
and
equation.
come on in, I'll show you why.
I was just curious.
If you ever want to know why, I'll show you, because you like to know why. Okay, all right, from here, many equations. I'd have a 2x equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0, right? Again, 3 answers. We're going to get the 3 that happens twice, but it's still going to be 3 answers, okay? Divide by 2, 0 divided by anything is 0, so one answer is 0. Plus 3, like Isaac said, it's just the opposite, +3. Here, +3. So this is what we call a double root. It happens twice. And when you graph it, it's going to hit it twice, which means it's just going to touch and go. Okay, we'll talk about that, not today, but tomorrow, okay? Thumbs up. Is that pretty good? Okay, example 2. All right. Do you see anything in common? See a 4. You guys see a 4 in common? So we take out a 4, and we're going to have a x to the 4th minus a 10x squared plus 9 equals 0. Okay, now, not bad. This 4 right here will not give me an answer. It's just a 4. There's no x, right? Everybody agree with that? So when we go for the answers, we'll ignore the 4. It doesn't have an x. Can't get an answer from a 4. It's got to be an x. So let's factor again. So the 4 is out there. Let's see. X squared, right? X squared. What times what makes 9?
2 times 3 or 1 time.
Yeah, I like 1 and 9 because we need to make a 10, right? 3 and 3 won't make a 10, but a 1 and 9 will. How about a -1? -9. -1, -9?
Can you factor
Yep,
the
you're
9?
You're ahead of me. Yep, you're ahead of me as always. Okay, so that will make the +9 when I multiply and a -10 when I add them. But Isaac's saying, can I do it again? Sure, I can do both of them again. Keeping the 4 out in front, I can make that an x plus 1, x minus 1, right? Because 1 times -1 makes -1, and x times x. And then we'll do the same thing on the x squared minus 9. We'll make it an x plus 3 and an x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, now, we've got 4 mini equations, right? And I'm going to skip some steps because this is algebra 2, right? It's not algebra 1. So we know that x equals -1, x equals +1, x equals -3, and x equals positive 3. So if you set them equal to 0 and solve it, everybody okay with that? I mean, I'm sure, right? You guys good on me solving, right? So there's my 4 answers, right? Easy, okay? All right. Am I doing okay? Not too fast? So example 3. Here's what I would do. I'm going to bring this one over and put it right there in the middle, okay? I want all of them together. I want them in order. And I like a positive big term. Yeah, Autumn.
On the example 1, 2,
Mm-hmm.
it would be y equals plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 3.
X equals, yeah. X equals plus or minus 1.
X would also equal 0, right? Because of the 4? Or
No, because the 4, okay, think about this. Great question. If I were to take this equation right here, you looking where I'm at? So let's divide by 4, divide by 4. What happens to the 4? It's just gone. It's just gone. It's just gone.
Oh, because 4 equals 0.
Right. So it's just
But
gone.
if it was like 4x, then you would solve it.
Yes. And you know what? Another thing, Autumn, 4 answers, right? That would create a 5th,
Oh, yeah.
right? Great question. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the 14x cubed and I'll put it right there. Now, why right there? Because it puts it in the middle, right? We want to put it in order. We want the 2x to the 5th minus the 14x cubed plus 24x equals 0. I want it in order, right? Like standard form. Descending order, right? Now, common factor of a 2x, right? What do I have left inside? X to the 4th minus 7x squared plus 24, right? Oh, 12, my bad. 12, 12.
4 and 3.
Yep. Autumn,
Yeah.
that one's going to give me an answer,
Yeah.
right?
Whoa.
Okay, now, Caden already said it, 3 and 4. 3 and 4, because 3 times 4 makes 12, but it also makes a 7. But how about a negative 3, negative 4, okay? Negative 3, x minus 3, x minus 4, x squared, okay? Now, many equations, right? But I can factor this one. So I can factor this one again into x plus 2, x minus 2 equals 0. Okay. So now, many equations here, right? So x equals plus or minus 2. You guys okay if I write plus or minus 2 from these two?
Yeah.
I got a positive 2, negative 2. And, Autumn,
Yeah.
2x equals 0 or x equals 0 here, right? So I've got 2 more. I got 2 more. This doesn't factor, but we can solve it. Take a square root. We can solve it. We can take square root. So if I write x squared minus 3 equals 0, right?
So x equals the square root of 3.
Plus or minus, yeah. So I bring over the 3. I got x squared equals 3, right? Now, how many answers? How many answers?
2.
How many answers? Right here, right here. How many answers? So when I take the square root, I got to get 2 answers, right? So I go square.
Minus 3.
Yes, it's plus or minus the square root of 3. So I got 5 answers, didn't I? Yeah, John.
So if it's x squared plus 3, we have just 3 answers.
3 real answers, yes. Yes, 3 real answers. But we'll call it a plus or minus square root of 3i soon. But we haven't talked about imaginaries yet. But that's coming, right? That's coming probably next week, right? Okay, turn the page. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this one and put it right there. I want to put it right in the middle. So it's in order. Does that make sense? So I'm going to have 0 equals 2x to the 4th minus 16x squared plus 32. Okay? They have a 2 in common. Do you guys see it? Take out the 2. And I'm going to have an x to the 4th minus 8x squared plus 16. Okay? How am I doing?
Just be 8x.
No, it'd be an 8x squared.
Yeah.
That's not what you- okay.
No, I like it when you guys ask questions. Good, because you're thinking. Okay, now what times what makes 16? What times? 4 and 4. How about a negative? You okay with negative 4, negative 4? Negative 4, negative 4? And we'll go boom, 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 boom. X squared, minus 4, right? We could square root it or factor it, right? Isaac will get the same answer, right? You agree? X plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 2 again, x minus 2 again, right? Right?
Yeah.
Which gives me 4 answers. It gives me plus or minus 2 and plus or minus 2. Now you might say that that's really only 2 answers, but we're going to call these, the 2 happens twice, and the negative 2 happens twice, okay? So it really is 4 answers, okay? Last but not least, okay? Write a third degree polynomial with zeros of. Okay, now first of all, let's take the easy one, negative 3. The only way I could get a negative 3 is if x equaled negative 3, okay? That's my answer. Let's go backwards. That's my answer. That would have come from an x plus 3 equals 0, right? Let's go backwards. If I've got an answer of x minus 3, that would have come from a question, x plus 3 equals 0, okay? X equals 1/2. That could have been, let's see, let me bring that up. That's a 2x equals 1. 2x minus 1 equals 0, okay? So if I solve this little mini equation, I'd get 1/2. Yeah, Autumn?
On the fourth one, do you have to, I know it says you have to have 4 answers, but they're the same.
Right, they are the same. And then we're going to look at what that
So could
looks
you-
like.
Like, would you be okay with the right answer
Right,
plus
yep.
minus 2?
Yep,
If
yep.
you know that it's the same?
Yep. And the reason I say 4 answers is because when we graph it, we need to know that, okay? When we graph it, you get that touch and go if it's a double root, okay? But if it's just an answer, you just throw it down, okay? All right, Jay, you want the homework? Where you go?
Oh, you're the only one.
Now, how about this one? We got x equals a negative 1/2 because of the
Yeah, I'll take
the
it.
plus or minus, right? Right? So I got it equal to a 1/2 and I got it equal to a negative 1/2, right? Same thing, I'll bring up the 2, I'll have a 2x equals negative 1. If I bring over the 1, I'll have a 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now, let's see what I got. These are my 3 questions that get those answers. One more time. These are the 3 questions that get these. So my polynomial is this. Here's my original polynomial. It is going to be an x plus 3 times a 2x minus 1 times a 2x plus 1 equals 0. Now, we're going to stop there. That's good enough. That's a great answer. You could multiply it out, but it'd be the exact same question, right? I mean, I could, and I won't have you guys do it, but